gigantic sea creatures to unbelievably sized fishes, these are the biggest catches of all time. Mud crab. Crabs are generally not a headache to catch when you use a deep net or a fishing line, but when using your bare hands, there are only two things involved. You either catch the beast or lose a finger. The claws of this giant mud crab are large enough to break anything if the fisherman isn't cautious. Giant crayfish. Crayfishes are generally small in size, but when this YouTuber caught this colorful and beautiful creature, he knew right away that it was worth documenting and filming. This crayfish weighed roughly between 6 and 7 kilos. Since it was too beautiful, he decided to let it back into the water to blossom. Megasized grouper. While Goliath groupers aren't the most challenging fish to catch, a Goliath grouper twice the size of the fisherman can be quite tricky, as things could go sideways at the last minute. Although this fish's size wasn't measured or recorded, it was clearly enormous and estimated to be worth a fortune. Whale shark. Back in 2012, the body of one of the biggest female whale sharks ever seen washed ashore in Karachi, Pakistan. She weighed over 33,000 pounds and measured about 40 feet in length. She was so heavy that it took 2 construction cranes and a team of able-bodied men to remove her from the water. Monster fish. While 2 fishermen were hunting for catfish in the Trinity River in Dallas, Texas, they stumbled upon something even more extraordinary. A strange and frightening creature known as the alligator gar. After measurement, this alligator gar was recorded to be over 7 feet long, even longer than the fisherman who caught it. Gigantic crab. To date, this Japanese spider crab continues to hold the Guinness World Record as the widest crab ever seen. No wonder it was nicknamed a Big Daddy. His legs alone stretch across 3.11 meters, and he also holds the record for the longest leg on a crab since 2013. Massive catfish. At first glance, you might not believe this is a real fish because it looks nothing like a typical catfish. However, this fish was caught back in 2015 from a river in France and weighed 250 pounds. It was so ginormous that it took 3 men in total to lift the fish from the ground. Giant crayfish. This freshwater giant crayfish was nearly 50 years old when it was caught, but the scary part about this was it was hand-caught. With those enormous claws, there is a 50-50 chance of retaining your entire fingers if you try to pick them with your bare hands. Tiger shark. Tropical and warm temperature water are the perfect habitats for tiger sharks, so it was no surprise bumping into one. But a fish this big is not something you see every day in the warm waters of the Bahamas. This tiger shark weighed roughly 1,000 pounds and its size was almost 14 feet long. Bluefin tuna. Even though there are 15 different species of tuna fish in the world, the Atlantic bluefin tuna remains the hardest to catch. They are usually worth none less than $1 million. For a fish like this that weighed almost 700 pounds, you're bound to make quite a fortune when you sell it out. Grouper fish. AKA the Atlantic Goliath grouper. These fishes are the largest groupers in the West Atlantic Ocean, hence its name Goliath. This fish was so strong that it resisted the force of 3 able-bodied men. If you're not careful, these monsters could bring you and your fishing line into the sea for lunch. Mexican shark. When this enormous shark entered the net of 2 fishermen in 2012 on the Sea of Cortez, northwest of Mexico, they quickly realized that it was a white shark. This animal measured 19.8 feet and weighed 2,000 pounds. Upon opening its carcass, they found 2 dead sea lions inside. Sea beast. Back in 1995, a large commercial fishing rig brought this massive creature back to shore. The creature was immediately labeled as the property of the Russian army, after which the animal was broken down and destroyed. This viral photo was the only known picture taken of this weird sea creature.